Ah, hell. I'm in the wrong game again. Hey guys, Nary here from Drakewing Gaming. Some of you know me on Twitter, The Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you to the Let's Play episode of Changeling Tale, Marion's Path. So the last place we left off, we had just gone back to help Marion, and as the title of the chapter says, something's changed. My guess is we're going to get like a decent kind of reveal here for Marion, like she's physically changing. Yeah, in the last episode she was having a little bit of a tingle. Oh, I wonder why. Malcolm, you devil. Anyway, guys, please sit back and enjoy Limited Handy for the next 20 minutes, and let's jump right into it. All right, Alarmshin, you're up. Let's go. Picnic day. The weather is indeed shaping up to be lovely, just as Marion predicted. She must have a sixth sense about such things. Hazel steps lightly as we approach the home of my day's companion. I've decided I'm actually looking forward to the picnic, and not just because of the company. The church has always been part of our family's lives, sure. The sermons may have grown a bit more forceful, but the message still aims to be positive. In such a small village, we need to stick together, to be there for one another. Acton Craig's parish offers that space for community and acceptance. That, and I was hoping to be able to kiss Marion again. I laugh aloud. Religion be damned. I was pining for her in a very unholy manner. My levity has clearly disturbed Hazel, who slows to a stop before the walkway to Marion's house. I go ahead and dismount. Oh, don't be a humbug. You're invited to the picnic, too. In fact, I do believe Gran packed some extra carrots just for you. Want an appetizer? Oh, God, she goes crazy for carrots. Hazel's ears perk up, and she gladly takes the treat I offer her. Hopefully the menu for us humans is equally appetizing. If the only option this year is Bulgaria's beer-battered haggis balls, may God have mercy on us all. Oh, God, that does sound kind of nasty. My mouth waters as I walk up to the door, wondering what recipes our chef and savior Marion might have in store for us today. Uh-oh, spaghetti-o. Oh, good morning, Grace. I'm here to collect Marion for the picnic. Okay, I've heard all about it. Marion's been preoccupied about the picnic all morning. So much excitement over a church event. Grace is not the easiest person to read, but her expression seems strained. It's like she's trying to suppress a laugh. Less the event and more the company. She's still getting ready. Plush. Good as hope Marion isn't getting overly flustered about this. She's not treating this little village get-together like a proper date, is she? If so, Grace must think seeing her sister mooning over a boy is a real riot. Should I be nervous too? The consternation must show on my face. Don't fret. I'm sure you two will have a ball. I'm here. I'm ready. Marion's face is flushed and her kerchief lays loose and askew atop her head. She's looking charming as ever. My heart races and I still can't fathom her wanting to spend time with me. I notice the silver cowbell dangling from the thin chain around her neck. You look lovely, Marion, as always. Oh, thank you. Can I, Oh, I thought I could play with it. She's fidgeting so much I worry she might keel over. Finally ready, sis. It must have been quite the process. I was worried you might need more help. Marion shoots a glare at her little sister. The style hardly looks elaborate. In fact, I'm not sure Marion's wardrobe ever changes. Again, I'm no expert on how a woman prepares for an outing. Some female mysteries, Gran tells me, men are never meant to understand. Yes, thank you, Grace. I'll be heading out now. I'll be back later this afternoon. Don't forget your basket. Yes, of course. Thank you again, Grace. God, this is so funny. I love it when the sisters bicker. Marion bends over to pick up the basket, adjusting her loose kerchief as she stands. I reach out to take the basket from her. Here, let me take that. Got anything good in there? Thank you, Malcolm. You'll just have to wait and see. The thank you is a curt one. I'm startled by how irritable Marion appears to be, but I can't blame her. I have a sneaking suspicion being left alone with Grace can have the ad effect on people. Plus, if Marion is as nervous as Grace suggests, that's bound to contribute. I've got a case of the butterflies myself. We should really be going. Of course. You care to join me atop Hazel? I hope I'm not being too forward, but I'd love to ride double with Marion, if Hazel will let us. It's as if Marion reads my thoughts. If she'll have me. Of course. After you, then. Our chariot awaits. Have a good time, you two. She's got a tail, I bet. Alright. We'll pause right here. Alright, we're back. Marion is quiet as we ride atop Hazel to the appointed hillside just outside the village. We talk about the weather and what to expect at the picnic, but the energy between us feels more nervous and strained than romantic. Needless to say, today isn't going according to how I'd imagined it would. Well, she's having some problems. Ever the reliable mode of transport, Hazel spots a patch of bluebells along the path and insists on veering off to munch on them, of course. We love Hazel. Embarrassed and helpless, I dismount and help Marion do the same. She looks off into the distance absently as I will Hazel to quickly finish her snack. Perhaps Marion and I are both acknowledging the shift in our relationship, and don't know where we will take it. I raise the subject. You know, I'm excited to spend the day with you, Marion. I've really been looking forward to it since you asked me to go to the picnic. She's so pretty. As finally coaxes a relaxed smile from her, she fiddles with the ends of her kerchief and looks up at me.
I'm excited too. I'm so sorry if I haven't been myself. I'm just nervous.
Me too. The butterflies inside my belly feel as though they're multiplying at a rapid clip.
I've been thinking about you non-stop. It's been a welcome distraction from worrying about Jessie, but...
You feel guilty. She pauses, appearing to weigh my words.
Well, I suppose that's part of it.
Marion stops and places her hand around mine. My breath quickens.
But I also feel relieved. I don't know what I would do without you around. I just don't know. Thank you for helping me put things back together when they just kept falling apart. It's been harder than you know, but you make me feel like everything will turn out all right. You're just what I needed right now.
I squeeze her hand tight, not quite comprehending that I am holding hands with a childhood friend who has turned into such a gorgeous woman. A woman who shares a connection to me in this fashion. It's overwhelming in its simplicity and profoundness. I think I can empathize. Having you come back into my life in such a... What on earth is the word?
A special way?
Yes, and at such a fortuitous time. Just remember that, well, routine is good for a weary soul. It helped me substantially since coming back home. That and being with you. Marion blushes and opens her mouth to speak, but a squeak comes out and she jumps, well nigh a foot in the air. My horse, having apparently finished her leafy greens, had decided to snuffle the folds of Marion's green skirt next. I turn beet red. Hazel, there's no way to treat a lady. Marion looks absolutely rattled as she pats down her skirt back into place. It breaks my heart. Hey, I'm sorry, she has a mind of her own. Yep, she's got a tail.
It's alright. Let's just... Can we get a move on?
A move on? You say? Marion's eyes go wide as she slurs the last word. I nod, helping her back upon the horse. It's tough, though, as she has gone almost completely limp. The jitteriness, the blank looks, and the shutting down. I've seen it all before. It's as if she's been shell-shocked. Jessie's leaving must have hit her harder than I ever realized. Are you sure you want to go today? We can stay home, get some rest. Perhaps we've both been pushing ourselves too hard.
No, I'll manage. Like you say, it's best to get back into routine. Everything will be fine.
My determined Marion smiles weakly. But who is she trying to convince? Me or herself? Oh, something's gonna happen at that picnic. I know it. I just know it. Something's gonna go wrong. Oh, wow, a lot of people there. Any sense of calm restored by Hazel's gentle rocking is shattered as we ride into the picnic spot outside of town. The hillside is teeming with activity. Quilts are draped across it, resembling an even larger patchwork, but hardly anyone sits. The congregation seems so much smaller when it sits quietly inside the confines of a church. Cakes are being laid out on a long table. Lemonade is being stirred in large carved glass punch bowls. Clusters of adults group together, chatting. Children chase each other with an unending supply of energy. Were Marion and I ever like that? The outing. A foppish man on a penny farthing tries to entertain the little ones, but he would have just as much luck holding the attention of a pack of caffeinated Yorkies. What's the difference? Wait, is that Wondrous Walter? The circus man from God knows how many years ago? I slide off Hazel and offer my hand to help Marion down. Marion, you remember when the circus came to town when we were wee kids? Do you think that's... She's taking in the scene with obvious distress. I've never seen her so nervous in a crowd. Marion, all's well? She swallows.
Yes, do you have the basket? Let's add it to the others.
After I hitch Hazel up to a fence post, We weave in and around the revelers to the table, where Marion opens the picnic basket. Ah, are those some of your homemade cheeses, Marion? She finally seems to relax again, and gives me a conspiratorial smile.
You remember? Yes, but I only share them on special occasions. Don't tell the cheesemonger.
Not a word. Wait, let's go back. What? Ah! Look at that, I see that, yep. Cheeses and fresh loaves of bread are added to the piles of other delicious-looking foods. I set out the spice cake Gran sent me with as well. It's a good-looking spread this year, although I can smell Bulgare's haggis balls from here. And make sure to stay well away from those, even though Bulgare assures me time and again that they'll put hair on my chest, and one foot in my grave, no doubt. Being back in her element seems to have restored some of Marion's confidence. We mingle a bit with the other churchgoers around the table. Most of them are still unfamiliar or unmemorable to me, and I hesitate to speak too much about myself. I'm not eager to discuss my homecoming with strangers anymore. Their words wash over me as my eyes wander over the crowds. It looks like just about the whole of Craig turned out for the picnic this fine day. I spot Effie, wandering shyly over by the desert table, and Murdoch the Milner, flirting with the whist club members. Then I am spotted. Pastor Ted beelines toward our group, and I feel my insides stiffen. I'm not ready to face another impromptu sermon. I slink away from the conversing group, focusing my intentions on filling a napkin with hors d'oeuvres.
Oh, Malcolm!
So this is what quarry feels like when it's been flushed out into a trap. Alana, glad you made it.
Likewise. I'm happy to see you out on such a bonny day, truly.
Her face softens into what seems like genuine concern.
I know how hard it can be to show yourself in public so soon after living through extraordinary times. Difficult times when the wounds are still fresh.
Well, I'm happy to say I've had help. Most here have made me feel quite welcomed. I don't intend to sound accusatory, but perhaps she senses my concern anyway.
I'm glad, Malcolm, and for my part I am sorry. I wish I'd been able to offer you a more pleasant reception that first night.
Her apology comes as a surprise. Alana is showing her human side again, it would seem. It's alright, yeah. I test the seasons, and I don't have the heart to hold it against her. Don't fret. It's enough to know that I am welcomed among my old friends and acquaintances.
And family, too, I hope. How has your grandmother been? Is she here today?
She would have loved to come, but Sunday services are only outing for the week. Anything more does tire her greatly these days. Thank you for asking, though. I'll give her your best, or you can tell her yourself next Sunday.
Oh, I don't make it to church in town very often. I just came today to help look after the children.
One look toward poor wondrous Walter shows just what a hopeless task that is. The kids swarm around his penny farthing like angry sopwiths about a zeppelin. They duck and dive perilously close to the machine. It's only a matter of time before someone is shot down.
Children!
Oh, damn, Alana gets him in line. Alana's call isn't loud, but the kids seem to hear it nonetheless. At once they become quiet and snap to attention. My back straightens as I instinctively do the same.
Behave!
And like that, the children abort their mission, buzzing off to find new quarry. Alana seems to have powers that would make any schoolmarm jealous. Impressive. Still putting your schoolhouse skills to good use.
Aye, and this class is a fair share more obedient than your own.
A bit of a healthy disobedience never hurt anyone, except for the occasional ruler to the backside. Nonetheless, I choose to take it as a compliment. Your students, still teaching the youth of Craig, then?
You didn't think you'd driven me into retirement, did you? No, I'll keep teaching this town's little troublemakers as long as I have to.
I can see the moment Alana's face drops. Marion has come up beside me to offer me a cold ginger tonic.
Miss Alana, how are you? You look lovely today. Thank you, Marion.
Alana's still smiling. There's an icy tone to her voice. She looks back and forth between Marion and me. I can tell she's displeased to see the two of us in such close proximity after voicing her warnings to me not long back.
So you two are here, together.
Marion is quick to save the situation. Obviously as uncomfortable as I am, though most likely and aware that Alana's question is more of an accusation.
Malcolm was kind enough to bring his horse by, so I didn't have to lug my large basket all this way. Don't you have your own horse?
Cart's and aggressive as ever, nearly choke on my ginger tonic. She does, yes. I thought it best not to aggravate her horse further. It's been injured of late. I'm sure I turned red at the lie, though when I looked to Marion, she seemed undisturbed by my tall tale.
What's wrong with it?
It asks too many questions, I want to say.
I believe it's a stress injury, overcompensating on one side. With the rest, I'm sure he'll be fine.
Marion looks to me with big eyes as if to confirm our story. I'm not sure why she's covering for my lie, but I certainly appreciate it. Aye, the poor horse still has the gumptions, just not the drive. Ahoy, good friends and neighbours! As heavenly as Moses parting the Red Sea, Bulgaria barges into our social huddle, plate in hand. He presents it with great enthusiasm. Miss Alana, I don't believe you've had one of my beer-battered haggis balls yet. Alana's expression goes from skeptical to horrified instantly. I believe he may have distracted her attention fully.
The children seem to be unleashing a colony of ants upon the desserts. Please, excuse me.
Alana makes her escape without bidding anyone a fair day. Bulgaria watches after her, grinning. I dare say we owe you. Eh? For saving us just then. Lad, my pleasure, but not my intent. Just trying to see that these don't go to waste like last year, and the year before, and the year before that. He's very clearly eating at him. The plate is still full, and my nose wrinkles at the scent. I look to Marion.
My stomach has been very delicate of late, but thank you, Bulgaria.
That leaves you, my boy. Well? Well, so I owe him, and then that's when I black out. I take the ball in my hand, rolling its greasy surface a bit between my fingers. That's it! Eat up! The wind kicks up and it calls to mind the sound of a trench whistle. In one swift motion, I pop the ball whole into my mouth, gagging. I swallow. My, if the whole of a garbage heap was compressed into a palm-sized ball, battered and fried, it would still taste better than Bulgaria's balls. What a fucking sentence. Oh my god. Jesus Christ, what a sentence. That's, Attaboy! A pair of those would make a true Scot out of even an Englishman. He takes 3 whole balls, wads them into his mouth, and nearly swallows them whole. I feel queasy. Would you excuse me a moment? Time to go drink some lock water. I shuffle away from the table and the offending plate to get some fresh air, lest I start retching. The feeling passes quickly enough, but I linger, enjoying the break from the crowds. A moment later, Marion joins me.
You're a brave fellow, Mr. Campbell. My
own delicate stomach will repay me later. Marion laughs. She seems much less jittery now, but she still fidgets with her head covering her skirt. How are you holding up now?
A bit better, I suppose. It definitely has helped take my mind off things.
Good, good. And your horse? He's all right, isn't he? She laughs again, shaking her head.
Of course. I know how odd Alana can be. It looked like you needed help, so I followed your lead.
I guess I should thank you. Thank you for enabling my lies.
Hey now, I can't be a perfect role model for you rascals all the time.
We trade conspiratorial winks, and I reach out to take her hand in mine. The little scamp screeches to a halt in between us. Aww.
Oh, hello, Flory. Take care when you're hastening now.
The child nods vigorously. I'm amazed how Marion seems to know everyone in town, even down to the wee ones. Oh god, she's so adorable. Look at that little face. Reminds me of Shirley Temple, with redder hair.
Hello, Miss Marion, and Mr. Not Marion. Want some space cake?
Space cake? For a moment I wonder if H.G. Wells contributed a dessert to the pic. I enjoy the jokes in this. And Chloe produces a frosted wad of dessert from her pocket. Ugh. That can't be worse. Oh, it's got to be way better than the fucking Haggis balls. I recognize barely the remains of Grand Spice Cake.
Ooh, thank you?
Marion and I exchange a glance as she takes the lint-covered gift. Maybe it won't be better. Flory smiles and says something unintelligible to adult ears. Heh! Gran'd be thrilled to know her dessert was such a hit with the kids.
I will save this for later, Flory. Dessert comes after the... Oh no!
It's not the lint on the frosting. Little black dots begin to crawl indiscriminately from the cake to Marion's hand. So Alana wasn't kidding about the ants after all. Marion sends the gobs flying and dances a wild jig that would give even her flapper sister a run for her money.
Get off me! Get off me! Wah!
What? Oh! What in the world? Marion, what is... Uh-oh. Spaghetti-o. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. She dives over the wall down the hillside, speeding away from the picnic as fast as the wind will take her. Oh no. I rub my eyes, not sure I believe what I see.
Miss May, you look funny. Hey, mister, can I have half-tail? Half-tail, too?
Something ridiculous last. Marion doesn't have a tail. Although that's certainly what it looked like. I glanced left and right. The elderly women of the Whist Club are still deep in conversation. Murdoch seems to have given up on them and is now intent on sampling every hors d'oeuvre. It's hard to do that with the kind of the Scottish accent. Everyone else is further up the hill. No one but the child and I seem to have witnessed the scene. Why don't you go back and play with your friends? Malcolm needs to have a talk with Miss Marion. Help the wall and give chase. Ooh, alrighty. Alright, I'm gonna pause it right there. Seems like a good place to pause it too. Right as he starts running after her. Alright, what's this one called? Confidant. Alright! Guys, it's been a new episode of Changeling Tale Marion's Path. We're getting into it now. Ooh, the changes have begun. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell. Leave a super thanks if you can. It always helps. Until the next video, I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!